Welcome, brothers. Welcome, sisters. Welcome to our program. On usual, as soon as we start this program, we encourage you to pick up your telephone and give us a call. We never have a subject matter. We speak about anything: politics, religion, socioeconomic issues, any topical issue of the day, any issue trending. You have the opportunity to introduce your own subject matter on our program. So you can pick up a call. Your number to call is 442-0175. We on RealFM, we on YouTube, and we also on Facebook, both on RealFM page and the page of Francis Bay. So you could give us a call on that issue. Brothers and sisters, Grenada is in a good position, but we must be very careful. Remember, we are considered as the third world. And even within the third world in the Caribbean, we are considered as the less developed, the LDCs. You have Bahamas, Barbados, Jamaica, Trinidad, and Belize as the MDCs. And the other islands are called the LDCs. So although Grenada have made significant improvements, but we have to be careful. We're easy to fracture. We depend significantly on tourism. St. George's University contribute about 20% of the GDP, what we call the educational services, etc. Remuneration from our people outside. And although we like to call agriculture the backbone in terms of foreign exchange, it comes much lower than the others. We export 4 main products: fish, soursop, nutmeg, and cocoa. That is the 4 main agriculture products we export. We have a lot good going for us because Grenada, where electricity, telephone, water, and internet is concerned, 90% of our people have access to it. We have a caller on the line, and caller, welcome.
Afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my sister.
It is with deep regret that the village of Moncton and Lakabike is in mourning. The sudden passing of Miss Veneta yesterday. To her children, her husband, her immediate family. She's also the aunt of our parliamentary representative for the Niger Northwest, Honorable Delma Thomas. We extend sincere condolences. This lady was somebody who served the community with a small business for a number of years. She also worked previously at the box shop in Grenville as one of the security.
She was a farmer too.
A farmer too, yes.
Yes.
Because I understand whatever happened was at the last. And I believe she have taught her family and her children a lesson of hard work. And let us all know and remember, hard work pays off. And when you're, so hardworking and you take care of your family and you're always there, you'll be greatly missed. So to all of the surrounding neighbors and to all whose lives she has touched in a positive way. One of my good neighbors is a very good first cousin to Mrs. Date. And to all of them, I say, be strong. God is good, and He will carry you through in all of your endeavors. Have a great afternoon, Mr. Pierre.
Thank you very much. It's amazing how death does touch the communities and put everybody in a different frame of mind, irrespective of your religious or your political perspective. And that is so important that we need to be very careful when we go around tampering with the fabric of our society. We need to be very, very careful on that. And brothers and sisters, we have to be mindful. I say this thing repeatedly because our young people must know these things. They must know that electricity, water, telephone, and internet, 90% of our population have access to it. We're better than most countries in the region, comparable with the best and second to none. We must know that. In addition to that, we have one of the best network of roads in the region. And irrespective of all the grumpy and calling and making noise, the roads are relatively good. Maybe that is why over the last 10, 12 years, we doubled the amount of vehicles we have. So there's a lot of Grenadians with discretionary income. They could buy a transport. And nothing is wrong with that. When a man works for his money, he has the democratic right to do what he wants with it. But sometimes you only can cry when you see what people do with the money they work for. Our teacher to children ratio is about 1 to 15. And I doesn't check e-money. And that is to tell you that our schools are not overpopulated. In St. Andrews alone, maybe only 3 schools that could be considered overpopulated. But the perception is that these schools are doing better than the other schools. We have a lot good going for us, but we have some inherent problems in the country because a lot of our people in academia or professionals, they're not as productive as we think. And I'll point out one of them. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, I further understand it, there will be a consultation at the Methodist School this afternoon with regards to the marketing board issues. So those of us who have issues and concern to raise about the marketing board, MNIB, this afternoon would be an opportune time for whoever it is to air their concern at the Methodist School in Grenville. And that would involve farmers, everybody, all concerned who have, issues to share because the closure or the whether or not marketing would stay open would affect each and every one of us Grenadians. Have a great day, Mr. Pierre. Thank you.
Yes, sister. You know, it practically saddens my heart when I hear about marketing board. It saddens my heart. A decision was taken to close marketing board by the Prime Minister and the NDC, and they seem to be doing everything to do that. They decide to close marketing board, fire the workers, and they're having consultation now. This consultation is a sham. It's an effort to get sympathy. The Prime Minister of Grenada must know that if you're pretending to be socialist, you can't touch marketing board. Daniel Ortega and Cuba and the other socialist country must be laughing you to scorn. Even if they embrace you publicly, because they need the defiance, they need their support to appear to be defiance in the face of the American. Dickney on the wrong trajectory. If you was genuine about consultation, you'd have done consultation before you come with a decision. You have made the decision to close marketing board. You prejudice the board that you put. You make a decision to fire the workers. And now you want to do damage control. Look for sympathy. It is unfortunate and it is sad. I take the strongest objection when individuals want to trick the marginalized at the expense of development. I could tell you what to do with marketing board, but you wouldn't bother. You see, marketing board never make money. I'm saying that now and I'm looking for challenge. Marketing board never make money since marketing board was set up. The mental institute never make money. The Ministry of Education never make money. The Ministry of Agriculture never make money. Legal aid never make money. These institutions are set up to help to develop the country. They don't necessarily have to make money, but they must be productive, they must be efficient, and they must not be a burden on the country. All the Prime Minister have to do, send 2 individuals from the Ministry of Finance. Obviously, you're going to send 2 experienced ones. Let them go and visit marketing board as part of their responsibility and determine what we must do to make marketing board more efficient. And in the space of 1 year, are willing to bet you these individuals could bring reduced marketing board expenditure to an acceptable level. Because marketing board don't have to make money. But marketing board must not be inefficient. And that's what happened to our middle managers in the Caribbean. They're not efficient. They're not held accountable. They must go inside there and do not fire the rank and file worker. If a manager don't make sense, then they give him instruction and make him go, but not the rank and file worker. Even the farmers outside could see areas where marketing board need to be more efficient. What you're doing there is a sham. That consultation, Dick Mitchell, is a sham. You need to apologize to Grenadian workers. You need to apologize to the workers that is shedding tears. I have no issue when you fire a man with a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, a policeman above inspector. If you want to fire him as senior public officers. Why? Because I believe people in that position must not be afraid. You have the education. You reach a position of leadership. You must not be afraid. You must not be afraid to lose your job. And you must be able to get a job in the country tomorrow if you lose one today. Even if it is underemployment. I take the strongest objection when politicians going out of their way to fire people who is not as competitive on the job market. During the first structural adjustment program, the government fired workers in the public service. They retrenched them. The lawyers gave the government bad advice. The unions employ lawyers. They pay the lawyer gave them bad advice. The lawyer tell them the government right. I think it was Derek Knights that take the case and win the case. And government had to pay people under 84.8. So they had to pay you as if you reach the age of 60. So we had people in their 20s in Grenada getting pension as if they reach the age of 60. Of course, it was a golden handshake to some of them. Some of them left this Grenada and go away. 22, 23 years, and they're on pension while they're in the United States of America. During the NDC Structural Adjustment Program, they realized they could not have fired people in the public service per se. So they fired the workers in the parallel public service. NDC have a history, you know. They have a history. They fire the workers on the estate. That is when they fire Lord Doll, Shotty, not a Calypsonian in this country. Shed a tear for him. They used to have him on the stage performing for them. And he sing one or two calypso for himself. That is when they fire those workers. The last structural adjustment program under Kit Mitchell, Dr. Stone, Jonah, he insisted that no one must lose their job. No one must lose their job. He did not cut salary. He did not introduce debt service levy. And he increased social spending. That ought to be the template in Grenada. That ought to be the template. So Dick and Mitchell, you have to apologize to the public. What you did was wrong. You know what is sad? The NDC planned to do wrong. They sat down and they planned, they connived to deceive people in the low-rank workers. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, good.
Yes, my brother.
Yeah, like the program was started. I feel like we breakdown.
On the radio?
I get this radio station. I get it.
No, you might have to try. Yeah.
Podcast on YouTube.
You might have to go on YouTube. But he was
yeah,
on.
Yeah, I know. No, I talking about yesterday.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always find people. The reason why I don't feel they can really want to fire people. I feel the only reason that takes place is because I feel every time you see that you don't want to be as Nazimbock, like when the time you can't pay salary. So every time you see when you realize things getting tight, you just send them people to balance back the book. When the end, you don't have nobody to work again. It's like you keep sending them people to balance the book in the end. So I feel, to me, that's my opinion. I just feel, to me, that is that. You realize the money getting scanty, and you watch at the economy, or not improving. So he balancing the book by sending home people. To me, that I feel is that what he's doing. I feel is that what he's doing. He just send up people. Because I don't feel you guys. Remember, he promised people and them that permanent. So that I don't feel that I'm going to be sleeping at night because knowing that the promise people, everybody, no one will lose their job. And Conrad already said that immediately after coming into office, no parallel public service, say one public service, and everybody will make permanent. You see, you utter all these words on them now, and reality really hit you. It's hard to make a comeback. You have to start making excuse. So I think the main reason for that, you have to get rid of the people because you want to balance the bouquet. You don't want to fall in the same trap as Nazim to say, well, look, he can't pay salary. Take him up there and listening.
Yes, caller, that's a strong point that you have. But I think Deacon have to come clean. Yes, caller, welcome.
Morning, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, caller, welcome.
How are you, sir?
Great, please.
This morning, Mr. Pierre, I hear a statement made.
Your radio in the back. Your radio.
He's a worker.
Turn on your radio.
Can you turn on the radio for me?
Yeah. But go ahead.
And make some statements that you have a pipe that they lock up, and we're just supposed to lock up the pipe. So she's saying, all of all you making mischief, and to blame NDC, but the pipe was locking down since in NNP time. Then she makes some statement, all of you going home just now. I say, you hear? A worker telling workers they're going home just now. So these things that I'm planning. Yeah, let's just say again, Mr. Pierre, here they want to fire all the people in Grenville Fish Market. Yeah, allege. I want to see if that is true. Mr. Pierre, we're in deep trouble. And this man, I don't think this man loves poor people. I love Grenadian. He just there because he get the opportunity and he take it. Mr. Pierre, you can take a carpenter was 8 subjects and didn't go and learn carpentry to do carpentry work. So this man may be bright, but he don't have the talent like Prime Minister, ex-Prime Minister, Mr. Mitchell, which as we see, they're showing me now that this man is the best man to rule Grenada. They're showing us that. Because look all this mess this man making. I know how you go clean it up. Mr. Pierre, this country under bad management. You can't just go and find people, getting rid of people because they are NNP supporters. And the people who she threatening, I know personally them is NNP supporters and they're doing not good work, but she threatening them. Are you going home just now? This morning, it hurts my heart to know it's 4 people you're threatening as a worker as yourself. Tell them they're going home just now. So that means you know what's going on? Mr. Pierre, have a nice day, sir.
Yes, scholar, thank you. You see, government set a template. When we had the structural adjustment program, Keith Mitchell called on the unions. He said, I cannot do it alone. And they come up with a package with the International Monetary Fund and organization and Timothy Antoine and etc. And the government decide they're sticking to it, come what may. Richard Duncan was in charge, I think, of the FROC. That is the organization, the side organization that overlook what the government should do, what they shouldn't do, and report. So Grenadians decided, and nothing is wrong with that, that's a democracy. We're going to choose a group of political virgins to run the country. So we expected some level of risk. Because if you take virgins and you send them on 42nd Street, Young Street, or Tiger Bay, they either be ravished or they give it away cheap. That's when you meet an experienced person battering with a virgin on Tiger Bay, or Young Street, or 42nd Street, they either give it cheap or they give it away. Yes, caller, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good day.
Yes, my brother, welcome.
How you doing?
Great, man.
It was Dr. Angus Friday that was in charge of FROG, which was Fiscal Oversight Committee. So it wasn't Richard Duncan.
Okay.
It was Dr. Angus Friday.
After Angus Friday left, who took over?
Well, I don't think the committee went on, after Angus Friday.
No, the committee still exists.
It still exists?
Yeah.
I don't heard anything about it.
Yeah, but it still exists. I don't know who in charge now.
Yeah.
But Richard Duncan, I believe, I'll have to check back that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they've been changing. There are different people on the committee, which they change. I have the document there, but I can't put my hand on it now.
Yeah, so we have to verify that.
Yeah. So maybe he had a part too as well, but the head of the committee was Angus Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, have a nice day.
Yes, my brother. You see, we set a template in the Caribbean after the International Monetary Fund come out from Greece, where a significant number of people lost their job, and Greece was up in arms. Grenada set a template. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yeah, Richard Duncan indeed was the chairman of FROC. at one time.
Yeah.
I just want to confirm, but I know that for sure. Angus Smith was there too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Angus Smith. Yes, thank you, Colin. Yeah, we had more than one chairman. At one time, it was Angus Smith and then Richard Duncan. And that's what this program all about. You know, we clear up points because when you're speaking without script, you could fall short, and we get it corrected one time. Yes, caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr.
Yes, my brother.
The caller that just called spoke to you just now a little while and told you about a woman said that just now all about going home. I think we be totally right, you know. I was at a wedding Boxing Day, and an ex-school teacher who is a friend of mine and who I'm certain is an NDC supporter, and she's certain that I am an NMP supporter. Me before, when the NDC just coming for, that I had to go home just now. She did told me at the wedding, you still working? She told me that. But I already know that I was going home. So what the gentleman says is not a lie. It's the truth as the gospel. There are people. I know I could trust to say that. I could put my neck on a block. That she is an NDC supporter. And we are good friends. And she told me that. And she know that I am an NMP supporter. Right? So it's not no perhaps there. That one is true. So the gentleman was right. The next thing is marketing board. I don't know. I don't know how to look at this marketing board situation. At once the Prime Minister say marketing board has to go. At once the Prime Minister say marketing board is a burden. At once the Prime Minister say they have to revamp marketing board. Now they're having seminars to ask farmers and other people what to do with marketing board. The government before, the NMP government, set up an inquiry in marketing board. The inquiry came out. To date, we have not got an official statement as to the state of marketing board from that inquiry that was set up. Right? Mr. Royal Edwards tried to stop the inquiry from taking place. The court ruled that the inquiry have the right to take place. To date, we have not got a total report. So, as far as I'm concerned, all of the politicians, all of the leaders playing game with marketing board. Marketing board perhaps have the wrong name. Because you are supposed to find market for the farmers' produce.
But come on, you know when marketing board started somewhere in Gary days?
I can't really recall it directly, but I have some little knowledge on that. I can't remember. I don't think it was called marketing board. I can't remember it directly. But the marketing board is not living, have never lived up to the expectation. Listen, we were shipping banners to England, the Windward Islands, Grenada, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Dominica. Geese never tell us what amount of banners to ship in. He never tell the estates what you had a market area that all your banners, that once your banner reach the correct grade, Mr. Pierre, and quality, Geese was bound to accept it.
But St. Lucia and Dominica was providing more banner than us.
Yes.
So we couldn't even, we
hardly could make our quota.
We hardly could make quota.
You understand? So the thing is, your marketing strategy had to be there, and we didn't have marketing strategy through the marketing board.
The marketing board never really have a foreign market, you know. Listen, once they used to ship mango and golden apple, and then when fruit fly come, they lose that market.
Mr. Pierre, the Canadians had agreed somewhere in the 90s to build a new formentry somewhere in St. Patrick if our producer, not when cocoa produce, would have reached 4 million. And we never made it. And every pound of cocoa that was produced could have been sold. You know that? Every pound of nutmeg that's produced in Grenada could have been sold. Every pound of nutmeg that the island of Grenada produced before we had this Ivan and whatnot could have been sold. There was a time when they had Mr. Webb and they had problem with Mr. Webb. And Mr. Webb was still buying what we call the cassette nutmeg, you know.
And they run him.
And they run him. So this thing about marketing is a strategy that things are not going correctly. And if we do the things correctly, Grenada can pay itself. There was no Mr. Ware was paying $3 a pound for nutmeg.
He went to 5.
Right. While the association was paying was one something.
And then he went to 5.
Right. And a farmer told me the association could pay more money, they pay more people go thief. I say, what stupid are here in the they're thieving when it's $1 a pound, they're thieving when it's $100 a pound, they're thieving when it's $50 a pound. Why is the difference? They go steal thief. So our marketing strategy is bad. I will want to hear what Mr. Dickon have and plan for it. I will go to the thing, and I am going to, and I've said it again, I am going to criticize Mr. Dick when I see his fit. I'm going to criticize NMP when I see his fit. And I is an NMP supporter.
Yes, Colin.
Thank you.
Yeah, my issue is the decision was made to get rid of marketing board. And since the Prime Minister made that decision, even the board that he put there knows that they're going to get rid of marketing board. He announced they're going to fire workers. And when he didn't like the reaction of people, he asking for consultation. This consultation is a sham. Marketing board never make money. It doesn't necessarily mean they have to make money. I note what marketing board have to do is to be more efficient and productive. And 2 individuals from the Ministry of Finance, get 2 of them from top of finance, and let them visit marketing board on and off and make recommendation how to make marketing board more efficient. Yes, caller, welcome.
Just a correction here, Mr. P. I think you had it wrong. Richard Duncan was a chairman of FROC at one time. And during that time, Angus Smith was a member. Angus Smith was not a chairman. So just wanted to clarify that.
All right, thank you, caller.
Yeah.
Thank you, friend. So the caller is saying that Angus Smith was a member, but Richard Duncan was the chairperson of FRAC. So between both of us, this scholar seems to correct. Both men was involved in FRAC, but Richard Duncan was the chairperson and Angus Smith, not Angus Friday, Angus Smith was a member. You see, the worst thing is when we're deceiving people. We mustn't deceive people. I take the strongest objection. When academia, intelligentsia, bright people deceiving the poor. Today I want to call upon the trade union. The trade union have 2 representatives, I believe, in NIS. NIS is deceiving people. NIS tricking people. NIS disadvantaging people. The trade union have a responsibility to look after the workers' interests. It is quite true that some of the workers that are affected are not in your bargaining unit. Because the teachers, the public officers, the technical and allied workers union, the workers they represent are involved in more the established companies. But the workers that are affected most are the workers in the informal sector and the workers that pay the benefit self-employed. Yes, caller, welcome.
Yes, Mr. Pierre.
Yes, my brother.
As you on that, right? I attempted to make a call. Now we have Mr. Doe last night, okay? I was interviewing have that talk with the Prime Minister, and I really object to that. To me, Pastor Wam maybe would have asked a different question. I just have the feeling he would have asked the Prime Minister the right question. And I just don't know the reason that he should decline and let this brother interview the Prime Minister. A lot of things that need to be explained. We did not explain last night. This is not what people want to hear. Really.
The Prime Minister must go in the safe hands of who he select.
That is the thing.
You notice the Prime Minister, the Prime Minister said about the Dr. Bob.
Right.
I can't remember the next one.
Right.
Who he thought was the ideal journalist. You notice even them keeping quiet.
Yes.
And the riders keep quiet.
Oh my God.
So he did not want he didn't want Pastor Wong.
No. That is what I say. I listened the whole time to find out, because I know that was going to be a real good thing, because he would have been asked real hard question with all the people that may go.
You notice all the ministers hiding from the press.
Yes.
Like Adam in the garden, hiding.
Gosh, man, I don't know. I don't know. Pastor Wong declined of doing it. Oh, so he had what choose this man?
Well, normally the Prime Minister wants somebody to choose somebody.
Oh, that's what go on?
I'm not saying he did that, but there is some diplomatic way of nudging out one man.
Oh,
and bringing an next one.
Maybe they didn't trust Pastor Wong, boy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I feel real hurt because of that.
Yeah.
A lot of most important question ought to be asked.
We're going to ask them on this program.
Yeah.
And we might hope that the journalists in St. Vincent and Tobago going to ask the Prime Minister for us.
Oh, okay, thank
you. Scholar, thank you. I don't agree with the actuary. The actuary in 1983 and 84 that established NIS. No, the actuary, no. The action, yes, Scholar, welcome.
Yeah, good.
Yes, ma'am, welcome. How are you today?
Well, I don't feel that too bad.
All right.
But I call you to give you all the Papa 2023 with health and everything. You see what that happened last night? That was a rebroadcast. You understand? That was a rebroadcast. Because when they say about to open the line, I go in. But the announcer say that is a rebroadcast.
Okay, so they maybe did it. It wasn't live.
No.
Okay.
That's something they had recorded already.
Okay.
They record that already because Mori call him not on the air yet.
Okay.
Godfrey don't come in yet. Godfrey coming in the end of the month.
Okay.
But it was a rebroadcast because I go in when they say to open the line because I don't want to ask some questions too. It was a rebroadcast.
Yeah, the government running from the press, man.
Is that?
The government hiding from the press.
He running, but he would be able to hide.
You could run, you can't hide for long?
No.
Because even the government politicos, they can't answer the hiding. Some of them shame.
Tonight is supposed to be the government turn tonight.
Yeah.
I bet you won't hear them tonight.
Okay.
It's a open line where I go in the tail tonight. I go in.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it won't take much question. So normally when you go in, prepare to ask one or two questions.
Yes.
And don't take long because they go make excuse.
You understand?
So prepare your question and ask one or two questions within 1 minute to finish.
That's right.
All right.
No, brother, you have a wonderful and a blessed day. God bless you and I love you, darling.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
thank you. Yeah.
Nice.
I disagree with NIS increasing the contributions that people have to pay. They're increasing the contributions, but they're also increasing the age. Well, if you're increasing the age, why increase the contribution? You're increasing the contributions, you're increasing the age. So just now, you might have to be 75 years before you get pension. It means that NIS is tricking our people. Either the actuary 20, 30 years ago was not good, or the actuary now is not good. Or those who are analyzing the actuary are doing it conveniently. When NIS, yes, caller, welcome.
Hello.
Yes, caller, welcome.
Sawam and Pastor Simon, them tell them you go and vote on NNP. Yeah? All the youth tell you, make sure you got all
we don't like the word traitors at all.
Right.
All of us are Grenadians.
Yeah, but
so we must avoid calling people traitors.
Yeah, I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, avoid it. I know they're using it, but let's not follow them. Yeah. We have to avoid calling Grenadian traitors. Because somebody differ with you or they disagree with you, it doesn't mean they are traitors. They might disagree with you with some things and they agree with you some. Like when we were in the rum shop, we disagree with you, but we still agree with you to buy rum. Although we arguing with you and we don't agree, but every time you buy rum, we agree. So you're not no traitors. We just disagree with you now and then. So the actual report, time for us to question this actual report. If we're increasing the contributions that are made, what happened to the investment that we have? What is the rate of return on our investment? Because when you make contributions, they're supposed to invest these contributions. And these contributions that they invested were supposed to bring in profit to help to maintain pension. Now remember, the Grenada population has not increased significantly. Now, every time you increase the contributions, you increase the age of pension. So there would come a point when they want you to die before they give you pension. And it may well be 70 and 75 years before you get pension. Then what is the purpose of it? Now, those ministers that sit down and say, you're going to bust in 10 years, I think they're telling lies. They're distorting the truth. They must tell us what is the rate, what is the rate on the investments that we have. Yes, scholar, welcome.
Mr. Pierre, good afternoon.
Yes, scholar, welcome.
If they increase the NIS pay, the thing is no. Did you raise anybody's pay? They raise anybody's pay?
The amount of money you're getting from NIS, I don't think they raise it.
Yeah, but when they raise NIS, they raise the NIS which you paid. So according to what you working for.
You pay more.
Huh?
You pay more.
You pay more, but what you going home with?
We're only going home with less.
But this is it. That's the question I ask you, you know.
But they still increase the age at which you're going home.
Well, I have no problem with the age because all in the other Caribbean is 75.
But that doesn't mean they're right.
I don't know when I would say
The
that.
time for us to challenge it, why?
The thing is, no, what the question I'm asking, when you increase the NIS, you have to increase the pay to put more money in your NIS. Don't come and tell you you're increasing the NIS and you're going home with this kind of small change on them. So when they're taking out more from your NIS, what you going home with? Question and answer.
They changed the formula. I think it's 33% of your insurable earnings plus 1 point for every 50. Something like that.
Mr. Pierre, if it's police, if it's teacher, if it's whatsoever, NIS saying it. But you have people that don't working for big salaries.
But if you don't working for big salary, you'll get a little bit. And they even want to take the $450 from somebody, people that they pay, some of them even pay Provident Fund.
Mr. Pierre, it's like that kicks you out of things that I'm saying,
Yeah, well, you must laugh. Our old man tell me, say, woohoo! You see, some of these things we have to discuss it. And that is where our children who have education and in a better position to explain it, they hide in.
It's how it's anything, but we don't sit down and think about it tomorrow, man, you know?
Yeah.
It's like you saying it now and it's nothing for tomorrow.
Well, we have to stick the truth on them, you know. We have to say it over and over. You know?
But when you talk about NIS, raise a pay, more money to pay, more money on you pay. Simple thing, you know. Have a blessed day, Mr. Pierre.
Yes. A question we must ask. What is the administrative cost ratio? What was the administrative cost ratio 40 years ago? What is it now? If we have all this technology, administrative costs, the ratio should drop. We see we are one among the people walking around this town with a briefcase, a certificate on the head, and a bag of problem. They must, if you have the certificate and you're bright, then at least help your parents, help the people in your community and understand why you letting these people trick you people. NIS is making it so difficult for the people who are self-employed and small employers to submit the names of people who they're paying NIS for. So NIS collecting the money, but NIS constantly changing the format by which you submit the name. And more, this morning, a woman come to me, she ain't walking nearby me, but because I'm on the radio and I spoke about NIS, she come to me. She go to doctor, she gets sick leave and no money. She employer tell her she fed up because NIS is changing the format by which you submit the name. I'm appealing to the trade union leaders, calling the representative on the board and ask them to investigate NIS action. They're supposed to know they're part of the people I considered in the same category with those who involved in pretty larceny. The people the Minister of Agriculture call lunatics and idiots. But I don't agree with him. I don't agree with the minister at all. But that's why I'm asking him to investigate. And I'm waiting to hear what terminology he going to use to describe the NIS board and the NIS middle managers. Why do I say middle managers? When you're a middle manager, you're supposed to lose your fear at that level. And you're supposed to make life better and more palatable for the marginalized. The government have set the template to deceive and trick the marginalized in our country. And they're doing it because of political mischief. But companies going to ride on that, and they're going to do it for economic reasons. So whereas the government is disadvantaged economically for political mischief, the companies going to use the opportunity to make money on the less fortunate and the marginalized. And that is going on while our children with a briefcase of certificate modeling like a turkey cock in this country and not seeking the interests of those in the lower economic strata. That can be right. It cannot be right at all. If the actuaries are saying that you have to increase the age of pension and you have to increase the contribution, what about the rate of returns on investment? Where What are the areas we invest the money? Is it a fact that NIS investment will losing money on investment? It means that people we have investing our money, they do good. They do good. In the same way, the National Democratic Congress, anytime you hear they're in crisis, they don't sell assets. And that is why I appeal to Lennox Sandro and Dennis Cornwall, two individuals that have been around long time. I believe there was a wrong in all the structural adjustment program. There was a wrong when the National Democratic Congress sold 13 pieces of property to meet current expenditure. They sold what was not theirs and all. They sold what couldn't be sold. John Galt said they behave as when people on coke. The man sell his wife's stove. First of all, he sell the cylinder. He go and get a bundle of wood, give her, he call the police. He threatened to kill anybody that have the cylinder. And 2 weeks after, she hold him going with the stove. He sold the house, the woman on, but the house was not his, wasn't his wife's house. So the National Democratic Congress sold property that did not belong to them. And they sold shares that they did not have the legal authority to sell. That is why it's so important now for Grenadians to know what the National Democratic Congress intend to sell. We know they're going to sell MNIB. This consultation is a sham. Would they sell Nawasa? Tobias in the house hinted that they may sell Green Lake. Granby Estate might go to the Canadians. Who they selling Montreal Estate for? This is our silver. So we ought to know. The last time it was done in secret. But to be forewarned is to be forearmed. And since our journalists in Grenada, particularly Dr. Bob and the photogenic one, they gone to sleep, maybe we have to appeal to Tobago and the journalists in the Caribbean, because Deacon like to travel like a hostess, to ask him what are the assets in Grenada he's going to sell. And when he's going to apologize to the women of Karakou, the women of Paul's, the women in the caregiving program, the cleaners and cook that he promised, he will make them permanent. Forget about them, man. He give them condom. Forget about that. Condom cheaper. Forget about them, man. But when you hear a woman say, for 6 years, they never cut off my current, they never cut off my water. But she said, no, I can't even buy new blind. She got to wash the blind she have and put it back. Nothing a woman like when Christmas is to put new blind in her windows. Deacon Mitchell is contributing seriously to the destruction of this economy. The Minister of Labor, she said we have to be frank. I think that is the word she used. Either frank or come clean with the people of Grenada. That time she wasn't laughing, you know. Reality hit her. She said we could seriously damage the economy. And what was scary is when she used the word irreparable. It could be damaged and it cannot be repaired. Irreparable damage. John Gall tell me Jamaica is a failed state. And I still argue with him, but his arguments are so powerful. Haiti in serious trouble. And it seems to me that we have to try to get Deaton to change his trajectory, because he could bring the economy in Grenada to irreparable damage. I want you to tell your children, those of you who do not have a smartphone, to research the definition of irreparable damage. That came from the Attorney General and Minister of Labor. Irreparable damage to the economy. My brothers and sisters, Grenada set a template when we had the last structural adjustment program that no one longer had. So we don't have a structural adjustment program. We had a pregnant treasury. 75 million was paid out to people and Deaton firing women in the lower economic strata. It's difficult to stomach. I don't know how our journalists in this country, and I honestly don't know what going through their mind now. Particularly those that was propagating Deaton. Nothing is wrong. We took a gamble. We take a chance. Deaton have to apologize. Tell people you didn't know us so. Call back the old NDC and see if they could rearrange your ignorance and we could put this country back on some level of stability. You know, I think it's just important. We're back with you tomorrow again between 12 and 1. When we have another opportunity to punch, always remember, you can introduce your own subject matter. Because what I have to say is not important. I basically provoke discussion and encourage us to come up with solutions to solve our problems. Don't walk around with the problem. Don't walk around with our problems. Let us brainstorm and solve the problem. Thank you.